this.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and welcome to another Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and I'm joined today with Miss Carol. How you doing, Miss Carol?
I am well. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. You had a great weekend?
I did. I just kind of slow cooked it, didn't do too much. Kind of just relaxed and enjoyed the sunshine. The weather was actually pretty good here in Dallas. So, yeah, slow cooked it.
Well, it wasn't all that bright and shiny here this weekend. We had a warm week coming up to the weekend, but hopefully this weekend coming up promises to be better. So, anyway, I'm gonna jump right in. We got a one interest group for today. We have our support group tonight with Brother Dominic Martin, and it's always been seems to be a good class. That one there grows and grows and grows. I don't know, it's something magical about being in a room with a bunch of other blind people talking about blind people stuff. Well, it ain't
Right.
always blind people stuff. I mean, it's real life stuff, but from a blind perspective, and sometimes it's that extra layer, due to our blindness, that
Right.
uh, uh, people don't even take into consideration. Yeah, we got normal everyday problems just like everybody else, but you put that extra element in there, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. So, but yeah, no, that's tonight. It's 6 o'clock. We'll be doing that, and man, come out and join us. Sorry to say, well, you can't catch that one on audio.com, Blind United's page on audio.com, because we don't want to put everybody's stuff out there. If you want to be a part of that one, you got to listen in. So, but you can catch everything else that we record over there on Blind United, audio.com. So, that would actually be audio.com/Blind United. I think it'll take you right straight to the page. If not, you can click on the link in the description, or anything that we put out, it's got a link in there to go to it. So, you been over there, Carol? Have you tried to get some of Mr. Bautista's Spanish?
I I have not had an opportunity to get off in there yet. Um, but I do enjoy the Spanish class with, Jesus, and I'm gonna have to just try to get up on there and try to see what it's all about, because a lot of the things are really good.
Well, I mean, you got to get in there and do your homework. You got to ah, eh, ooh, ah, ooh.
You're right. You're right. I-E-A-I-O. You're right. You
you
are
got
right.
you
It's
got to
really
get them
fun.
vowels down. Get that alphabet down. He's
It's really fun.
yeah. I mean, he's making it fun as well. Teaching the Spanish. So that's also a plus when you can have fun and learn something new. So,
Right.
uh,
Right.
uh, but uh, But anyway, other than that, let me get some of this house cleaning stuff out of the way, and then we can move on and talk about a couple of these stories that Brother Pedro has left me. Okay, be right back in a minute.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United, You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
You are cordially invited to Blind United Scholarship Ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Subotnick. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni-Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show. You are cordially invited to Blind United's Color Party fundraiser on May 25th, 2024. Time: 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cost: $15 per person in advance. Deadline is May 6th, 2024. For more information, email at info@blindunited.com. Include in the subject line Color Party flyer. Now back to coffee time.
Wow, next month's gonna be a busy month for us. So got a lot going on. I'm anxious to get these scholarships away to a couple college students. I don't know. College kids just ain't the way they used to be. I don't know. They want you to give it to them. They don't want to apply for it, stuff like that, whatever. But anyway, we got a couple folks applied for it, and they meet the guidelines and stuff. So we're gonna make sure they get a little something extra to help them pursue their education. So trying to do this all in my brother Les's name. Of course, he's those that may not have heard me talk about him yet, we're gonna hear a lot about him there at that banquet dinner. He was a very good man. He was very, very helpful within the community out here in California for many, many, many years. He always went above and beyond to try to help people, with their technology and stuff like that. He was a tech instructor, but it was in his heart to just help people get to be the best they could be so they could live their best life. So we're honored to be able to do this in his name. So, and then right after that, we got the fundraiser. Well, of course, we can't give money away if we don't raise money, right?
That's right. That's right. It sounds so exciting. Every time I hear about the Mexican restaurant, my stomach just growls.
Well, I mean, and that's not a fundraiser, of course. I mean, that money there, that's straight to the restaurant. That covers your food, your gratuity, your beverage, all of that. I mean, they got an open bar over there as well. So if you want a cocktail, just make sure you bring some money with you, and you can partake in those adult beverages, But yeah, I mean, the color party, and that ain't a whole lot either. I mean, $15. Come on now, and we supplying all the main dishes.
You can't beat that.
So you come in, you play the game, go along with the program. You know what I'm saying? Put your favorite color on, and bring all your stuff to coordinate with your color. You ain't gotta. We ain't asking nobody to feed the whole group, but if somebody come up and want a couple of your black licorice sticks or whatever it is, just make sure you got a little something for people to come and get a little snack from you or whatever you might have in your color coordinated articles. So it is going to be interesting. That's definitely going to be an interesting day. So, but other than that, no, we're going to have fun with it and just do what we do. Again, Blind United, we just trying to have do what we can to help people live their best life. I know we don't probably talk about our interest groups enough on here. I mean, our interest groups are really the core of what Blind United is doing at this point. by offering all kind of different interest groups, like we say, such as JAWS and iPhone and even more advanced technology, like doing all that shortcut stuff with your phone and all of that, or getting into learning how to do AI. And I mean, again, Mr. Bautista and the Spanish. I mean, if you just like crafting, knitting, crocheting, oh my God, the list goes on. But we're just trying to make folks feel welcome, and let them network with people that have the same interests that they may have. It seems to be working out pretty well. But at the same time, there's always room for more, because again, what you might be interested in, I might not be interested in. So I haven't thought of that. But if you thinking about something that you think would be a winner, you're definitely willing to come and start a group and check it out and see where it goes. You'd be surprised. I mean, I've been surprised over the last couple of years, just stuff that I didn't think really would go anywhere, end up being a pretty nice sized group. So, and you get to meet some people from all over the country. Eventually, hopefully we'll start getting with folks around the planet, but different time zones. I guess that's going to make all that kind of a little difficult, but we do what we can, the best we can right here in America. So, but anyway, yeah, our interest groups, and we do fundraising as well, because why? All of that we do over there is free. We don't charge nobody nothing for doing any of that. You're welcome to come in and participate. We make it as easy as possible for you to come in. I know Carol loves that easy to use contact card that we can send you.
Oh my goodness, it is absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. I love it, and all of the interest groups. I mean, I'm just family now. I'm a newbie, but I enjoyed the iPhone classes, the Spanish class, the movie night, the cooking without looking. I mean, like you said, the list just goes on and on. Arts and crafts, movie night, traveling, just all kinds of interest groups that you all have. The social thing on Monday that can't be shared on audio, because what's said there stays there. So it's
Right.
just the freedom of all that's available, and like you said, it's free. And just the people that I've met, just being on and using that interest card that you gave me, that makes it so easy to just access these groups. It's just wonderful. It's enhanced my life tremendously. And I'm in
Well,
Dallas, Texas, so the time zone is 2 hours above you all, but I find a way to get in there. And I tell you, I try to get in where I can fit in, like here, morning coffee time.
exactly. I'm starting at 9. It's what 11 your time, and
It's 11 my time. That's correct.
but again, we can work it out here, in America, and then we got the recordings for folks that may want to check us out somewhere, either on audio.com. The recordings, as far as the interest groups, of course, this stuff here is, again, it's in the library, I guess, over there on Facebook. I know it's in the library over there on YouTube. So, and I've been grabbing this and putting it over there in audio.com as well. So, there's no reason why you can't keep up with what we're doing. But again, we make it as easy as possible to come in. All you got to do is tell your phone, call interest group participant, and boom, you're in a meeting. And you're now, socializing with some other blind folks from all over the country, and hopefully talking about something that you're really interested in. So, on that note, hopefully y'all will be interested in these articles I got for you today. So, you know what FISA is, right, Carol?
What, Vista?
FISA?
Vista? No, I don't.
Okay, it just got passed, extended, reauthorized
Okay.
in Congress. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen to this, and then we'll talk about it on the other end.
I got you.
House votes to extend and expand a major U.S. spy program. The U.S. House of Representatives voted on Friday to extend the Section 702 spy program. It passed without an amendment that would have required the FBI to obtain a warrant to access Americans' information. A controversial U.S. wiretap program days from expiration cleared a major hurdle on its way to being reauthorized. After months of delays, false starts, and interventions by lawmakers working to preserve and expand the U.S. intelligence community's spy powers, the House of Representatives voted on Friday to extend Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, for 2 years. Legislation extending the program, controversial for being abused by the government, passed in the House in a 273 to 147 vote. The Senate has yet to pass its own bill. Section 702 permits the U.S. government to wiretap communications between Americans and foreigners overseas. Hundreds of millions of calls, texts, and emails are intercepted by government spies, each with the compelled assistance of U.S. communications providers. The government may strictly target foreigners believed to possess foreign intelligence information, but it also eavesdrops on the conversations of an untold number of Americans each year. The government claims it is impossible to determine how many Americans get swept up by the program. The government argues that Americans are not themselves being targeted, and thus the wiretaps are illegal. Nevertheless, their calls, texts, and emails may be stored by the government for years and can later be accessed by law enforcement without a judge's permission. The House bill also dramatically expands the statutory definition for communication service providers, something FISA experts, including Mark Swillinger, one of the few people to advise the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISC, have publicly warned against. Anti-reformers not only are refusing common-sense reforms to FISA, they're pushing for a major expansion of warrantless spying on Americans, U.S. Senator Ron Wyden tells Wired. Their amendment would force your cable guy to be a government spy and assist in monitoring Americans' communications without a warrant. The FBI's track record of abusing the program kicked off a rare détente last fall between progressive Democrats and pro-Trump Republicans, equally bothered by the FBI's targeting of activists, journalists, and a sitting member of Congress. But in a major victory for the Biden administration, House members voted down an amendment earlier in the day that would have imposed new warrant requirements on federal agencies accessing Americans' 702 data. Many members who tanked this vote have long histories of voting for this specific privacy protection, says Sean Vitka, policy director at the civil liberties-focused nonprofit Demand Progress, including former Speaker Pelosi, Representative Lieu, and Representative Negus. The Warren Amendment was passed earlier this year by the House Judiciary Committee, whose long-held jurisdiction over FISA has been challenged by friends of the intelligence community. Analysis by the Brennan Center this week found that 80% of the base text of the FISA reauthorization bill had been authored by Intelligence Committee members. 3 million Americans' data was searched in this database of information, says Representative Jim Jordan, chair of the House Judiciary Committee. The FBI wasn't even following its own rules when they conducted those searches. That's why we need a warrant. Representative Mike Turner, who chairs the House Intelligence Committee, campaigned alongside top spy agency officials for months to defeat the Warren Amendment, arguing they'd cost the Bureau precious time and impede national security investigations. The communications are legally collected and already in the government's possession, Turner argued. No further approval should be required to inspect them. The United States is at its greatest risk of terrorism in more than a decade following the horrific October 7th attack on Israel, and the intelligence community must focus attention and resources on that threat while continuing to stay ahead of China, Turner and Jim Himes, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, said in a joint statement after the vote, adding that 702 remains one of the country's most effective national security tools. It allows the United States to counter our adversaries, like China and Russia, thwart potential terrorist attacks from ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hamas, and Hezbollah, and disrupt international drug cartels who are looking to smuggle fentanyl into our nation. They said. The FBI introduced a slate of new internal policies to clamp down on the abuse itself, changes that the Biden administration argues are sufficient to ward off future abuse. Knowingly searching the database for information about Americans requires analysts, who must now submit to annual training sessions, to seek approval from higher up the chain of command than before. Running batch queries targeting Americans' communications now requires a consultation with a government attorney. While opposing the search warrants, Turner backed a ban on searches of 702 data for criminal cases that lack any foreign element. While that amendment has been welcomed by members on both sides of the issue, privacy hawks say the ban is not quite the major reform that Turner has proclaimed. Data on the program made public by the FSC suggests the ban will in reality affect less than a handful of cases each year. Critics of the program say that relying on the FBI to internally police against its own constitutional violations is a tactic that has failed in the past, and that the Bureau can no longer be trusted not to spy on Americans without cause. Section 702 has been abused under presidents from both political parties, and it has been used to unlawfully surveil the communications of Americans across the political spectrum, says Kia Hamadanki, Senior Policy Counsel at the American Civil Liberties Union. The Senate must add a warrant requirement and rein in this out-of-control government spying. Judiciary members had also sought to include an amendment banning the government from buying Americans' geolocation data from private companies. At Turner's behest, House Speaker Mike Johnson killed the amendment earlier in the week. The U.S. Supreme Court has recognized geolocation data as protected from seizure by the probable cause standard. Rather than begin applying for warrants, the government has circumvented the ruling in many cases, buying up GPS data from companies that consumers largely believe are tracking them purely for advertising purposes. And now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Well, I guess whatever you say in private is no longer private. I mean, definitely not, on any sort of a communication device. And I mean, again, they got recording, like they say. I mean, I don't know how true it is about these smart devices also recording you. But bottom line, you ain't gonna stop them folks. You're not gonna stop them. They're gonna, do whatever they got to do to make sure they know everything about everybody.
I agree.
I mean, on one hand, I agree as far as national security or whatever. I don't. I mean, yeah, I like that last little amendment they were talking about. They added to it, where, okay, well, we won't do this for, if there's no foreign element. Okay, yeah, but at the same time, you still don't need a warrant to go look at, Americans' data. That's, I don't know. That's a little above and beyond. Like I said, when they have access to it, that means other people have access to it. There's always folks that are working to get into these systems and get that information that, and that's how a lot of lives get jacked up nowadays. So
That's true. I have often just sat here, I might be watching TV and my phone will just start talking. It'll say something. And I'm like, I didn't say anything to my phone. So I'm wondering at that time, is someone listening? Because I didn't activate it to do anything with my voice.
right.
I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
I wouldn't know it has, that not only, my phone, but like I said, my other smart devices, again, you hate to say anybody's name because then
Of course.
they want to start reacting to it. But,
Right.
but at the same time, I think sometimes they're listening and then something within the, the I don't know, within it, it just wants to respond or something. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe because that's what it's supposed to do is respond, but it's not supposed to just sit and listen without saying anything, or hopefully not record what, is hearing. You
Right.
know, so but who knows? Who really, really knows?
You
You
don't.
know,
You really
uh,
don't.
but I don't know. It reminds me a lot of that Will Smith movie, Enemy of the State.
Yes.
I mean, you know, again, this. I think they're gonna do whatever they got to do to you know just to be able to survey the way they want to, you know, survey, put the surveillance on us the way they want to do it. You know, they don't care about, you know, people's individual privacy and rights when it comes to their you know uh, and again, don't get me wrong. I understand when he really trying to keep the country safe, but at the same time, at what cost?
Right.
You
Right.
know, at what cost? You know,
There's
I
no
mean,
privacy. I mean, everything is just out there. There's so many platforms where people just put their lives out there to begin with. So now that you know that someone may be listening, you have an idea about or an opinion of saying, okay, I don't want them to listen, but you're exposing yourself to begin with anyway.
well, I mean, and I guess there's ways to create your little safe zones, you know, to where you can. They got little devices now. You can turn on. It'll jam anything, and you can sit there and have your conversation, your thoughts, whatever. Get it off your chest without having to worry about any, come back on it. You know,
Right.
but
It's
now,
interesting. It's an interesting world we live in.
I mean, again, it's just and again, it's information age. I mean, okay, did you hear the last little piece in there where the government's been going around and doing whatever? They just been buying the geo data. So
Yes, I
I
did.
mean, so all of these apps that we use or the phones that we use, whatever, they're actually recording our geo data. Why? For what purpose? Why? You know, other than okay, well, we can sell it to the government later on.
That's right.
Or you know, we can, you know, I mean, it's all kinds of other things that go along with it. They trying to work out our, you know, our travel patterns, our, you know, I mean, it's a lot of data, you know, you know, like I said, our travel patterns, our spending patterns, you know, what stores we shop at, all this other kind of stuff, you know, and I'm quite sure there's a market out there for that too, you know, but wow. I don't know what you want to know. The last time I pulled a booger out my nose, I mean,
Scary.
I mean, you know, I mean, is my camera? I've heard that as well. You know, when you got a camera on your computer, somebody can turn it on and just be watching you, and you don't even realize it. You know,
Wow.
listening in. You know, it's
It's
crazy
crazy.
what they say you can do. You know,
It's crazy.
I don't know. I guess I just choose not to even worry about it, girl. I mean, you know what? They want to lock my old ass up for what little bullshit I'm doing.
Right, Ed.
Okay,
My
come
life
on.
is not that important to
It's
where
not that important. I ain't doing nothing.
mm-mm.
You know, I'm all I'm trying to do is help my folks and, you know, and let them do what they do. So, uh, uh, I just want them to have a better life, the best life they can have, you know. So,
I hear you.
anyway, it's just crazy though. It's really, really crazy. So,
It is. It is.
let me get this all our little stuff out the way one more time, and then we can move on to the next story.
Okay.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United, You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
You are cordially invited to Blind United Scholarship Ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Subotnick. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni-Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show. You are cordially invited to Blind United's Color Party fundraiser on May 25th, 2024. Time: 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cost: $15 per person in advance. Deadline is May 6th, 2024. For more information, email at info@blindunited.com. Include in the subject line Color Party flyer. Now back to coffee time.
All right. Well, this next one actually is also kind of along the same lines. It has to do with kind of spying and whatever. But I just want to throw this out there for anybody might be listening in, might have their own little business, be an entrepreneur of some sort or whatever. Rather listen to your name in that little commercial and me advertising your stuff instead of what we're doing. Just get at me, info@blindunited.org. We might be able to work something out. So if you'd like to sponsor what we do and help us out to do what we do, that's always welcome as well. Of course, you can visit our website, and if you want to donate, information's over there. You can donate using your credit card, debit card right there, or you can get the information there to also Zelle any donation that you would like to bless us with. No donation again is too small, because when you put it all together in one pile, it generally can get something done, So also, I don't want to leave and just filling time right here right quick as well, just trying to cover people that we're trying to help out and so on and so forth. I'm going to talk about Jimmy right quick and You Can Give initiative and his work and trying to do everything he can to put canes in the hands of people that just can't get a cane. I mean, you talking about a cane in some places it's a whole month's worth of, food or groceries or rent or whatever, they just can't afford to have a cane, and they just never had a cane. So Jimmy's, to date, he's given out over 2,500 canes around the world in third world countries where they can't get canes. So he's got a few trips coming up this year. He's going to be running I believe he said Colombia. I believe he said he's going back to Africa. And there's one other place I know he said he was going to when we had him on. But for more info about it, if you want to get a better description of what I'm giving you, youcangive.org is his website. And that you can get more up-to-date information on where he's going. But also, if you need any cane products, a new cane, a sheath to carry your cane in, maybe some sort of an accessory like a little Bluetooth speaker, or maybe even a light to clip on it so you can see where you're going at night for those that are low partials or high partials that might need a little help at night. Jimmy's got all that kind of stuff, as well as his custom cane, that custom with a K. I love them. I love them. I love them. That's all I carry. I have about 5 different ones. My favorite is my eyeball cane. So I love them. I love them. I love them. I just don't like being plain. I just want to, I want to be different. I want to have that individuality with my cane. But all that money also goes to You Can Give. So anything you buy over there on the custom cane side, that money will help the efforts over at You Cane Give. So if you got a used cane, broken cane, as long as you got all the pieces, we can make it happen. We can put it back together, and we can put it in somebody's hand that could really use a cane. So you can reach out over there at Jimmy, like I said, youcanegive.org, or you can reach out to us here at info@blindunited.org, and we can make arrangements for you to get that cane to us. I send them back and forth. Me and Jimmy, we worked together for years now, so I didn't realize, but we can do this free matter for the blind as far as moving these canes around. So again, you can just drop it in the envelope, use your little free matter sticker, ink stamp, right? And send it right on. And like I said, we'll make sure somebody that deserves it, that needs it, that is in need, will get that cane. So anyway, let me stop rambling and move on to this next item. Okay, you're gonna like this one, Carol. Wait a minute.
Okay.
No, that's the wrong one there. Here we go.
Space Force is planning a military exercise in orbit. 2 satellites will engage in a realistic threat response scenario when Victus Haze gets underway. The U.S. Space Force announced Thursday it is partnering with 2 companies, Rocket Lab and True Anomaly, for a first-of-its-kind mission to demonstrate how the military might counter on-orbit aggression. On this mission, a spacecraft built and launched by Rocket Lab will chase down another satellite made by True Anomaly, a Colorado-based startup. The vendors will exercise a realistic threat response scenario in an on-orbit space domain awareness demonstration called Victus Haze, the Space Force's Space Systems Command said in a statement. This threat scenario could involve a satellite performing maneuvers that approach a U.S. spacecraft or a satellite doing something else unusual or unexpected. In such a scenario, the Space Force wants to have the capability to respond, either to deter an adversary from taking action or to defend a U.S. satellite from an attack. Going up to take a look. When another nation puts an asset up into space and we don't quite know what that asset is, we don't know what its intent is, we don't know what its capabilities are, we need the ability to go up there and figure out what this thing is, said General Michael Getline, the Space Force's Vice Chief of Space Operations. This is what the Space Force wants to demonstrate with Victus Haze. For this mission, True Anomaly's spacecraft will launch first, posing as a satellite from a potential adversary, like China or Russia. Rocket Lab will have a satellite on standby to go up and inspect True Anomaly's spacecraft and will launch it when the Space Force gives the launch order. This is what the Space Force wants to demonstrate with Victus Haze. For this mission, True Anomaly's spacecraft will launch first, posing as a satellite from a potential adversary, like China or Russia. Rocket Lab will have a satellite on standby to go up and inspect True Anomaly's spacecraft and will launch it when the Space Force gives the launch order. Pretty sporty, said Evan Rogers, co-founder and CEO of True Anomaly. Then, if all goes according to plan, the 2 spacecraft will switch roles, with True Anomaly's Jackal satellite actively maneuvering around Rocket Lab's satellite. According to the Space Force, True Anomaly and Rocket Lab will deliver their spacecraft no later than the fall of 2025. If a near-peer competitor makes a movement, we need to have it in our quiver to make a counter-maneuver, whether that be go up and do a show of force or go up and do space domain awareness or understand the characterization of the environment. What's going on? Getline said. Victus Haze is the next in a series of military missions dedicated to validating tactically responsive space, TACRS, capabilities. With these efforts, the Space Force and its commercial partners have shown how they can compress the time it takes to prepare and launch a satellite. Last year, the Space Force partnered with Firefly Aerospace and Millennium Space Systems on the Victus Nox mission. The Victus Nox satellite was built and tested in less than a year, and then readied for launch in less than 60 hours. Firefly successfully launched the spacecraft on its Alpha rocket 27 hours after receiving launch orders from the Space Force, a remarkable achievement in an industry where satellites take years to build and launch campaigns typically last weeks or months. We no longer have the luxury of time to wait years, even 10 or 15 years, to deliver some of these capabilities, Getline said in a discussion in January hosted by the Center for Strategic and International Studies. A tactically relevant timeline is a matter of weeks, days, or even hours. Victus Haze is about continuing to break those paradigms and to show how we would rapidly put up a space domain awareness capability and operate it in real time against a threat, Getline said. The Victus Haze mission is more complicated than Victus Nox, involving 2 prime contractors, 2 spacecraft, and 2 rocket launches from different spaceports, all timed to occur with short timelines, to keep the demonstration as realistic as possible, a Space Force spokesperson told ours. This demonstration will ultimately prepare the United States Space Force to provide future forces to combatant commands to conduct rapid operations in response to adversary on-orbit aggression, Space Systems Command said in a statement. Now back to the coffee time crew.
I told you again, it's about that information. I mean, you see, I mean, what are them satellites doing? There's information. I guess satellites do a lot more than just, relay information or whatever, but it's definitely one of their main purposes.
Right.
It's about controlling that. Okay, well, what's up here? Well, what are you doing? What are you gathering? What kind of satellite are you?
Right.
What are your capabilities? Well, we don't want you up here, and then boom, they blow them right out.
It's like, what the what?
So good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, guys. That was a lot to take in. Wow.
But again, I guess I see it, depending because of of course, I'm not a space engineer or whatever they got going on it takes to do all that stuff, but I'm quite sure some of them satellites can be weapons, and I guess somebody got to keep an eye on them. I didn't think Space Force was up and running like that, but I guess it is.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I'm being honest because of who authorized it. I thought it was a joke program.
Sounds like they big time. Sounds like they big time up in the sky.
And I guess at some point, somebody's gonna have to be the police up there, I guess. I don't know. It makes you go back and think. I can't remember exactly what the word is now, but it was the movie Hidden Figures, and when Kevin Costner was talking about, whoever gets there first gets to control what goes on or something, and that's basically what this is about. It's a fight for who has control up there.
Right.
How can we claim another planet? How can we claim domain over the universe? I mean, come on now. I mean, that's a bit arrogant, I believe.
Oh yeah, sounds like a big bully going on.
Well, but the cold part about it is, do we really know what's already out there?
They probably do. I believe.
Yeah, they probably do.
They know. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, okay, so that's to say that there is no such thing as other life forms within the.
It probably is. We just don't know.
You think we're the only one out here with this planet is the only planet in the whole?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other life forms out there. We just don't know about them. That's all.
Right, and that's my point. So how you gonna lay claim to something you don't know nothing about? I mean, I mean, I get the arrogance because what happened? That's what they've been doing throughout, our history anyway.
Right.
Even when they came over here, they didn't know it was people already here. Oh my time, I discovered America. No, you didn't, fool. You got lost, and that's where you landed.
That's right.
You know, it was. How can you discover something that already has people living there? It ain't new. It's new to you. So I mean, I don't know, but
Manifest destiny, I guess. They just think, hey, we can put a flag on it and it's ours.
well, I mean, but I mean, again, and hopefully we don't run into somebody and say, "Oh, you really stupid, ain't you?"
Right.
I mean, it might be somebody out there that's a lot more intelligent than us. They might just be waiting on us to evolve to their level. I don't know.
Don't know what's out there. Kind of like Independence Day.
Well, I mean there's a whole lot of them. I mean, even Star Trek and
Right.
when they supposedly first did their what was it, I forget what, the warp speed, and it just so happened that the what was it, Spock's people, I forget
Oh,
what,
E-Box or something like that.
what the E-Box, but I got what you're saying. It was one of them crazy ones.
Right.
He was a Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Yeah, so some of his people, I believe it was. I know it was pointed ear people. They seen that old man when he went by at warp speed. And, oh, okay. They didn't figure out how to do that. Let's go down there and check them out. But again, they just happened to be passing by when it happened, according to the TV show, of course. But I mean, how do we know that stuff ain't? I mean, how much of this other stuff is coming to that? I mean, I know I'm old, but I remember Buck Rogers. I mean, it was back in the 50s and 60s. They were just thinking about space and all of that kind of stuff, and
Right. Happy trails.
Hidden Figures again. They were just trying to figure out how to put a man in orbit, or all of that kind of stuff. And here we are. They sending satellites and stuff all the way to, to Mars and all the way on the other side of the galaxy. So, I don't know. But I guess, America wants to be the police of, I guess, at least the immediate orbit around, our planet. I don't know. Maybe we need to start charging rent because who is that? Elon Musk. He got a couple thousand satellites up there. What is that? He building I think it's called Space Link or something like that. I forget the name of his network where you can get internet anywhere on the planet.
And we're the third planet,
Well, third from the sun.
Right. It's like, well, I just remember, what was that? My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. You never heard of that?
Just served us 9 pieces.
My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas, meaning my Mercury, very, Venus, educated, Earth, mother, Mars, just, Jupiter, served, Saturn, us, Uranus, 9, Neptune, pizza, Pluto, the planets.
Is that all there is? I think there's more than that, ain't it? I don't know. I mean,
no, that's it.
But I had never heard that before, Carol. That's very interesting.
Yeah, my very educated.
That's
mother
a very
just
good
served
way
us
to
9
memorize
pizzas.
all the planets.
That's what I learned in school. That's how I learned it in school. My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas, but now they're saying Pluto is not a planet. So now they say my very educated mother just served us nachos. That's how the kids can remember it. Oh, that's how we were able to remember it.
Well, evidently it worked, my darling. And you're about to be 60 years old, and you
I'm
remember
about to be
that.
60 and I still remember it. Yes.
So and
So
it's
you don't
all
know what,
good.
you never know what's out there.
Well, and again, I guess that's just our galaxy. We don't know what's all the way out there. And as they call it, outer space. That's still what, inner space, I guess.
Right. Right.
But hey, you know what? You think about all that money that's flying around above the planet, doing all of that kind of surveillance and whatever, and think about how many you talking about. Poverty would be over with. I mean, there would be no starvation, there'd be no homelessness, there'd be none of that if they
No,
took
you're right.
all the money that's just sitting up there floating around in space waiting to expire.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another hustle they got going on now. I believe it's the one where they go up there and retrieve the dead satellites and bring them back and recycle the pieces.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
What? What the what? Ooh.
I mean, that's why they wanted to privatize the space industry. I think NASA is still kind of in charge. You know what I'm saying? As far as, well, at least from America's standpoint, I guess. But yeah, they let them build their own rockets and do all that stuff. The government don't have to pay for all of that no more anyway. Well, I guess we are now again with Space Force, because now we got to build more rockets, right?
True.
And I guess they'll come up with another shuttle at some point. So, or two or three.
I don't want to be on it. I don't want to take a trip out of space.
Well, I was actually happy to hear that when during that eclipse thing, did anybody else see that little clip where there was a young lady that worked for NASA that was blind? She was an engineer, and she developed this thing that she could point at the sun, and
Oh yes.
it
Yes. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
you
I
talking
saw
about
that.
it
that.
gave the tone as far as when the eclipse happened. So
Right.
that was some pretty cool stuff right there.
It was
You
real
know.
exciting here. They were actually they had flights where they were flying the pattern of the eclipse. And
Yeah. But I mean, for us, I mean that was something. I mean, if everybody could
oh
have had one of
yes.
them things, they could have, that was in that pathway anyway. They could have pointed it at the sun and just, and it would, did the little tone thing. I'm not doing sound effects this time, but they would do that little tone thing and it changed the tone to full eclipse and then start going back the other way and getting higher pitched again.
It did that with my color indicator. Remember, I was sharing that with you all. I
Oh,
have a
okay.
it's a little small device. It looks like a remote control where it can tell you the colors of your clothing and it'll tell you if your light is on or off. And I was outside pressing it, so it gave me a little low tone when it was dark, and it gave me a kind of a high tone when it was, as it passed over.
Okay.
That's kind of cool. That's cool.
Hmm.
I mean, we need something a little extra to stimulate our thought process, better than damn, I want, is it dark yet? Is it full eclipse yet?
Right. And like I was sharing with you all, I could hear the crickets. It was just still. The birds had gathered on the trees, and then once it had came over, because it was really big here in Dallas, Texas. Um, Once the sun came back, everything changed. It was I could sense it, even though I couldn't see it.
Right.
Amazing.
So, uh, uh, also before we get out of here, I want to make sure I acknowledge Monica and Miss Sandy Leonard. They was in the chat. they said hello. Just got a chance to look over there and see those. So, but yeah, no, I mean, wow, it's Monday. Got a long week ahead of us. We have a special treat coming up later on this week. We have a interview with Marco Salsiccia. How is that? Did I say his name right, Britt?
I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing people's last names. Not
But
my thing.
well, if you're interested in this new thing they call tactile graphics, it's
Well, tactile graphics aren't particularly
what,
new ed, but
but they're coming more available, I guess. That's what.
okay, that's a fair assessment of it.
And if you go along with the and to go to like what is it, blind
It's
S,
blindsvg.com.
right? You go
That's
there,
Marco's website. And basically what Marco is doing is he has this code, this computer code that you can use to make graphics, and then you're able to print them out if you have an embosser or a swell touch machine. So if you have either one of those things, you can print out the tactile graphics using that code. So everything that you need to know about making tactile graphics should be on his website. That's blindsvg.com.
and again, he'll be on here with us this later this week, and you'll be able to hear his story and you know how he lost a way of life, and then had to
Gained a
start
new
off.
way of life. Yeah. I mean,
Had
his
to,
story is very, very interesting,
uh,
very inspirational. So come and
uh,
check that out.
yeah, he's got a very interesting story, but at least the brother is now he stayed determined and he's able to get back into doing what it is he loves to do. And I just want to applaud him for that part, you know, and then taking that knowledge and being willing to come and share that with us.
Now, was that the gentleman that was at the convention that
Yes, that was the gentleman that was at convention.
Right,
okay,
right,
I
right,
think I
right.
do remember his story, and he had stepped on something like a floor mat or something, and it just gave him an idea about what he had been doing.
Well, no, I don't know where that part came from, but we did play some clips from him when he spoke at convention.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it a little bit later this week.
excellent.
Yep, super excited for that. And his website again, blindsvg.com. So if you're into tactile graphics or you want to learn the code to figure out how to create tactile graphics, that's way above my pay grade. But if it's something that you're interested in, check that out.
Yeah, come up there and I mean, again, if I mean, and he says it's actually very easy coding, you know. So if you're if you know how to do HTML coding and stuff like that or whatever, he said it's actually very similar. Where you, like I said, you can create your own tactile graphics, and you know maybe that's been a little something you want to do, create logos and stuff. It's a way to be able to create a logo and be able to feel it and know that you got everything to where you want it to be. So just come on down and check it out.
Sounds exciting.
Uh, but but yeah, no, that's really a nice little I mean, again, it's just an amazing thing. And I'm excited about it because, like I said, when we were at CSUN, it was my first real opportunity to put my hand on some tactile graphic displays, and I just think it's amazing that that we can feel this kind of stuff nowadays. So I'm excited for it, and I think this is another step in the right direction for our community and being able to do this kind of stuff. So anyway, it's been a great day, and I enjoyed having everybody in with us. And please continue to keep listening. Please run over there to YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're really trying to push people going over there and checking us out over there. We appreciate you checking us out no matter where you're listening to us at, but that would definitely help us out over on that side a lot. So until tomorrow, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on Taco Tuesday.
Hey.
Y'all have a great evening. We'll talk to you later.